All right. Good morning, everyone. Michel Ami from PFM. We are actually an Odoo customer, so not a partner or implementation partner, but a customer. And have some cool stuff to show, I think. So let's get started. If you have any questions, you can open the pod, put some questions in there, of course. First things first, I will show you a bit of what we do as PFM. But there's a small disclaimer. This video imaging I will show you is of course recorded with permission, and give you a little bit more insight in how we do and what we do. This is one of our sensors in the field. What we do with PFM is that we count people entering a venue. So entering a commercial location like a shopping center or a building or a restaurant, anything where people are visiting and is mostly commercial property. We are counting people coming in and counting people going out. In addition, there's a lot of more information which we gather from the sensors. Like you can see the blue color, which is a male, and the pink color is a female. You can also see the length of the person coming in and also the view direction of the person. So that information is all being collected on an anonymous basis, of course, and stored in our own data platform where we report those figures towards our end customers. This is another example. This is in the Netherlands, where we count people on the street and see people moving, how many people are walking in and out a certain area of the city center. Now these sensors are all installed without or throughout Europe. We have many of them installed. So a little bit of PFM itself. We are founded in 1983, so that is now 40 years ago. We have around 80 employees working in 4 offices throughout Europe. The headquarters is in the Netherlands. And on a daily basis, with these sensors, we count over 20 million movements a day. So that's really a lot, and all real time being communicated to our own data platform. But the thing is, how do you know what is installed where? For 35,000 devices and over 1,000 customers. If you get a support call, you can think about that as like, okay, how do I find where do we have what? That's where in 2018, I started with PFM, and there was a lot of information within the people's mind. It was not stored on the right place. There were a lot of questions. People needed to talk to each other to see what was installed where. When did we visit the site for the last time? Are there any issues reported with the customer, yes or no? What is their service contract, for example? How do we serve them? What device types are installed? If we go on site, which spare device do we need to take with us? So there's a lot of questions, and with these questions, it became obvious that knowledge management, of course, is important. If you know more, then you can acting faster and be more efficient. So in various reports online, it is being presented as like normal employees spend up 9 to almost 10 hours a week finding the right information about what is installed where. And yeah, this is what we thought about, or I thought about a lot. It's like, how can I incorporate that information so that those questions which you saw earlier can be answered. So in my previous companies, I've seen CMDB applications, and I thought, okay, why don't we build a CMDB, or maybe buy a CMDB so that we can store all the device information in there. In 2018, I reviewed a lot of different platforms like ServiceNow, Topdesk, CMDB Build, Freshworks and other applications to see, can I implement this in there? Should I store my information in there, or should I do something else? And that's where Odoo Studio came in. With the team, we organized a couple meetings to say, okay, what information is mostly needed? What do we question a lot about? And at that time we thought, okay, let's create an app which called CMDB. We will do it in studio. We will make a first draft version of it. And based upon that version, we asked our partner to make it more mature, of course. So this was more studio for proof of concept version. I will show you what we have built. So I will switch screens then. Go to our database. So here you see our database in the test environment, and we have made our own module, which is called CMDB. In this, I prepared 2 demo locations. So we have a shopping center and our own office. There's a list of more, of course, and if you go to one of the first ones, we have the demo shopping center. So we store location information about the shopping center. But what I did, or what we did, is actually that we included a lot more information. So for example, we took how many leads are linked, or CRM opportunities are linked to this location. Then the next one is how many orders are actually being linked to that location. So how many times did we sell something or have paid a service visit? Linked the subscriptions, the projects, jobs, and I think jobs is a very interesting one, because the jobs are the service visits our engineer does with the site to the shopping center. So we use a field services application, which we link, of course, to a location, and then that will be linked. On the site, you see picture of a sensor installed at site, some photos of the engineer, the inside of the shopping mall, cable details, but also the details of the sensor, the configuration, and also the stairs to put up that sensor onto the ceiling. So the field services module automatically pushes all the visits and link it to the location, and even photos which they make on the site towards the application. And the list goes on if we have a lot of visits. So this one has a lot of visits because it is a large mall. And automatically this information will be put next to in the chatter, which is quite helpful for people who are delivering support or getting questions from that customer. So we have tasks, and we also have documents or devices. Underneath here, you see some information about what kind of system is installed, what kind of service level do they have, what the contact details are, what type of shopping center it is, how many units they have, how large the space is. We also include a lot of network details, because we deliver devices which are network connected. And then our reporting, and then of course all our configuration items. So CIs, or configuration items, are all the devices which are actually on that location. So we have 2 major models in this CMDB. Is one is the location information, and the other is then the device information. Let me go to the PFM Netherlands, and I can show you a little bit. So this is our office location in the Netherlands, and here we have also some sensors installed. I can click on the sensor and it actually opens the sensor itself. So now the sensor information is being displayed to me, where I can see the installation photo, the 3D image, an image with start and stop points, the latitude, longitude, where it is installed, on which floor it is being installed, which camera type it is, what model it is, and even MAC address information and firmware information is stored there. So as soon as we, for example, update the firmware on such a sensor, automatically there will be a chatter log on the site where we update the information. So anything changes or changes being done by a support call or by a support engineer will be tracked and traced upon. We can even connect to the web UI. I have to log in here. So here you see our sensor in our own office, which is upstairs, and here there are count lines configured, and as soon someone walks underneath, a count will be registered again. So, but it makes it really easy, and that's the thing I wanted to show you. If you have a location, you find the location, then you will find the device which is having any issue or conflict. You click on it, you can check it, and can do things about it. The device itself is also linked via the help desk module. So we link tickets to it, and even we put validations to it. So normally we check our device status and quality of the devices, and we put validations in, and there we linked it back to the maintenance app of Odoo. And underneath here, you can see that we have requested a maintenance check on a yearly basis or monthly basis, depending on what the contract is. And we will link that information there so that we can have a track of how these devices have been checked or not. What we also did, that's also quite nice, I think, is the location is having a connection with the SharePoint environment. So what we did here is we have linked SharePoint together with the location database. If I open the SharePoint environment, you see that Odoo is linked, and in here you see all the locations which we currently serve. So as long when we get, for example, an Excel file, a Word file, or a photograph, or any other type of file, drawings for example, we put them not into Odoo, but we link them again to the SharePoint location. So if I here open a list of locations, you will see all the location names with all the files underneath which are stored here. So that's a little bit of the files. The second item was the geolocation. We used a plugin from one of the guys, Jopi Angi, which is also on the App Store of Odoo. Here you will see the shopping center geolocation pin. Quite nice, but it becomes interesting if we want to do this for all devices. So if you go down, you see there are more than 200 devices here. If you put this onto a map, you can imagine you will have a lot more. These devices are located within the shopping center, and you can click on them, see where they are, again which floor they are. Maybe there's a multi-story leveled shopping center. Click on it and see the details in there again from that perspective. So that is how we can open again a device and see the information about the device. So you can imagine this is really useful for the field services engineers, and using that whole module as well on their phone or on their tablet, looking into the details of the site, and all data which is needed for executing their job is being stored in here. Then back to the slides. So with so many devices, there are so many points on the map. This is how we store our information on a map view as well. One extra thing, I know here outside we have a Odoo lab where you can see the experience and experience the Odoo environment themselves. In, what was it, 2019, we ordered our expandable as well, the PFM truck, the PFM Experience Center as well. So if you are interested in any appointment or ideas about how can I do this for my own premises, just give us a call, and maybe the truck will come and we will demo you the whole environment, how we manage our sensors and what you can do with the insights you get out of them. Then I want to thank you as well, Maurice, you're here in the room, so our partner who helped us, Gravit, with setting up this whole module, making it mature and working correctly, and also Jopi Angi, who has provided that geolocation element within our application. So that's my talk. Thank you.
Hello, Michel.
Hi.
Thank you so much for this presentation. Honestly, I'm really surprised by how you integrated Odoo with the IoT and all the stuff here. Um, I'm really want to know more the technical aspects. Maybe in the next year or in the Odoo experience, like you can go through the technical aspects, how to integrate it. But now I will go through the question. We have some questions for you. The first one is, do you use other technologies like BLE, RFID? I don't know what they mean these technologies, but do you use other technologies like BLE and
Okay.
RFID?
Yeah, that is then sensing and counting people, I think.
Okay.
But that is not being used. No, we mostly use for counting people. Vision-based kind of sensors we call. So that's not being used. On the other hand, maybe the question was more like, how do you add a device, for example, to your database? Normally when we install a sensor on the ceiling, there's a serial number with a QR code on the back of it. That will be registered, and automatically when we put one online or they go one offline, that information is coming into the CMDB as well. So we even use it for monitoring purpose, and that's being used as a scanning kind of application.
Okay, amazing. Another question says, how many time did it cost to develop the app?
How many time did it cost? We started with the idea in 2018. We made a technical design, a functional design, of course the studio for a proof of concept version of it, and then we modified it to a real app with developers involved, because we wanted to have some automations in there, etc. And I think the whole journey from starting point till the first delivery was like 3 months.
Okay.
But of course it evaluates over time, so features are added, requests are coming in. So it is a continuous development, same as Odoo has. And now we are on version 16. Some things are again changed and some things are implemented again. So it's continuous improved. Yeah. What the interesting thing was as well is like the information we had before that time in the minds of people, but maybe spread across the different companies. That needed to import it and integrate it as well. So there was a lot of data gathering and data imports being involved, and that took a little bit more time to find all these scattered information and put it into the database.
Okay, yeah, indeed, it seems like it's a huge project.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Another question is, do you use other apps as well? I think they mean like, do you use other apps to integrate it with Odoo IoT service?
Yeah, I think I showed you a couple. So there's a lot of linking between sale orders, jobs, projects, help desk. That's a key one.
Mm-hmm.
So every help desk ticket will be linked to a location, so that we know that that location has an issue, yes or no. So it's mostly apps within Odoo. There are a couple cloud platforms which we use, like device controller platforms, which are communicating via API, so that we are getting the latest data and status of devices into the platform as well. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Another question is, where is all your data stored?
In Odoo, I think.
Okay.
And then of course the other part is the documentation is stored in SharePoint, but again that is linked to the location. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
The last question, but not least, they are still typing, but they are basically saying, do you have an own team working on this? Do you have your own team working on this?
There are people within the company having the ideas, but we mostly rely on the partner to help us with developing the application. The other part, of course, is the counts and all the data gathered from the sensors, and that's our own development team. So that is outside of Odoo. We do reporting to end customers with all those counts, giving them insights so that they can make smart decisions. That is being developed by our own team. Yeah.
Okay, and they are following and maintaining this. I guess you already answered this as well. And that's it. Thank you so much, Michel, for this presentation. Thank you so much, guys, again for joining us on this. Please, huge applause to Michel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.